What's up gamers, DreamcastGuy here, reviewing today ReCore. Microsoft has really been reaching lately to try and create new mascots to draw more people to the Xbox One. Through their Innovators program, they've recruited a lot of talented designers to their platform, one of them being Keiji Inafune. This man is perhaps most famous for his work on the Mega Man franchise and the incredible Metroid Prime trilogy. Now he's attempted to bring that same sense of polish and legendary gameplay to modern consoles, but sadly this project is essentially a jumbled mess. In ReCore, we play as Joel, a young woman who's just woken up on Far Eden. Earth had a terrible plague wipe out nearly all life, and in an effort to save the last remaining humans, they put everyone alive on ships aimed towards a distant planet. The goal was to have robots land first and build cities for us, but our hero quickly discovers that all these droids have instead gone insane. Now it's up to her to fix the machines, restore power, and hopefully make the world habitable for when the rest of the people show up. From the very opening of the game, something feels out of place about ReCore. Obviously, this is a small budget title, so the graphics are going to be lower quality, but even the controls don't quite feel right. Joel is stuck in some very dangerous territory. Rather than being defenseless though, she has a pretty useful team of robo-friends and a powerful rifle by her side. Combat is based around a simple lock-on system that keeps frantic fights a little more organized. By holding down the left trigger, you'll be fixed on a single target and be free to sprint, dash, and jump to avoid incoming fire. Staying on the move is important because rarely are you engaging a foe one-on-one. These mechanized enemies work together surprisingly well. If you're trying to stay near a box and pop out to score some easy damage, chances are something flying could flank you, or if you're trying to get a quick kill by ripping out a core, you'll likely be hit with lasers. Another vital factor that you need to keep in mind is switching elemental types. Each bot can shift colors to dish out different kinds of damage, and you need to tap the D-pad to shift your own colors to match them. The true highlight of this game is when you're trapped in a room with a group of crazy bad guys and you have to prove how well you can stay on top of the flow of battle. As you can imagine with a title like ReCore, cores are in fact a major drive of the game. All the enemies we encounter are powered by these glowing spheres. The stronger the orb, the stronger the foe, which means when you need to open a door that requires a lot of energy, chances are you'll have to hunt down bigger monsters. The other use of these cores is upgrading your own friendly robots. During the course of our adventure, we team up with 4 rather cute looking droids who each have their own special abilities. As we explore and unlock new areas, you obtain blueprints that let you swap out parts of their body to improve their attack and defense. It's a basic mechanic, but it honestly did make them feel dramatically more powerful and gave a sense of importance to upgrades that many games seem to overlook these days. Having a well-leveled bot to back you up is a must, because you need to delve into dark dungeons in each zone to figure out the mystery of what happened to the rest of humanity. Doing this requires more than just good shooting, it also takes a lot of solid jumping skills. A large portion of the gameplay is based around classic platforming. What I mean by this is that if you've played a PS2 era 3D game like Jak and Daxter, you'll understand this rhythm well. Joel can double jump and has a boost dash that can be used mid-air. You'll have to learn how to use these abilities fast because you'll be doing a lot of floating over gaps. Many times there will be a key or a button at the top of a room and you have to use your jumps perfectly to avoid falling back to the beginning. Things can get even more complicated when you start having to utilize the skills of your robots for these segments as well, but it can also be really thrilling to soar over such dangerous areas like this. The problem is, with just a single poorly aimed jump, you could end up plummeting to your death and facing the toughest enemy of all, loading screens. Every mistake you make is punished with a 2-minute long loading screen. This is not an exaggeration or a joke. Each death takes you back to the start of a room and forces you to stare at a black screen for roughly 140 seconds. There are moments when you're testing out a new boss and you have to die a few times to learn his attack pattern, but these 2-minute intervals between attempts are pure torture. At one point, I got stuck on a particularly tough event and kept getting slain in the first few seconds of a fight, only to have to sit there and watch the game reload the entire dungeon again. This early boss ended up taking nearly an hour to get past, not because he's that hard, but because of these excruciatingly long load times putting me to sleep. If that wasn't bad enough, I kept encountering horrible glitches. When I wasn't falling through the world or having my gun freeze, I also had a bug where my grapple abilities stopped working altogether. Yes, you heard me right. That basically means I couldn't grab any cores in a game called ReCore. This clearly isn't a finished project, and it's downright shameful that they released it in such a broken state. As a whole, this is a title that is filled with lighthearted fun and a decently interesting story, but the battle to get through it is far too sloppy. Okay, so we've heard some good and some bad, but let's head over to the ratings board and put a big number on it. I am giving ReCore a 5 out of 10. If you have a place where you can rent games and you want something unique to entertain you for an afternoon, you might enjoy this title. Do not go into this looking for a quality experience though. Thanks so much for watching, gamers. This has been DreamcastGuy with another review. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. But do me the biggest favor of all and keep dreaming. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked this video, maybe check out my last video. Please subscribe, and if you want, share this somewhere with your friends.